go get them again.
Welcome back to the Robes Away channel. I'm your host, Mark, and on the docket today we have an unboxing first impression video on the brand of Parfum, the Marley, Sedley. Okay, here we go. Try number 36 of a Parfum the Marley to see if I like one. PDM and me, if you're just stumbling upon this video, welcome. PDM and myself don't mix. We're going to see if this one can sway me. This one is very popular in the PDM fanboy circles. I do see mint in the note breakdown, so maybe, just maybe, this one may sway me into the positives of PDM. Now, PDM, of course, my major gripe is really it's a clone brand. It's basically what it is. They really just look at trends, and their owner is exactly, he's been known to this. He just looks at trends, copies, and rinse and repeat. Mostly designer. So there's no PDM identity. Now, you could say, one of their noses, Hamid Maradi, they utilize him quite a bit, and he has his own, let's say, signature, and that could be his signature, right? Especially the younger PDM fragrances that people don't talk about anymore. But you know what? Like PDM, that's my issue, is that really, a lot of them smell like designer fragrances. They don't smell unique. They smell like something that I've smelled before. A brand like this, with the price point that they have, plus the whole free bottle brigade that everybody and their mother gets free bottles of PDM, that's their marketing budget. It goes to everything from PDM is just so saturated in the fragrance community. Everything from PDM is great from everybody. And there's no brand that has a carte blanche that everything's good. Unfortunately, when you have the top end of fragrance reviewers, all of them saying the exact same thing, it's just sad. I'm really not a fan of it. So anyway, if you just stumble upon this video, hey, I appreciate if you hit that subscribe button, smash the like button, much appreciated. You are going to get an honest take. I am, anybody in my shoes that has taste like I do would have given up on PDM long time ago. They would have never purchased, never talked about them. Just let them be. Just let it lie. For me, I love fragrances just like everybody else. I'll let you know, how good they are in regards to my experience. So let's get into it. Let's take a look at the note breakdown on this one. And as you can see, there's certain things that I like from the note breakdown here. I hear it's a minty one. I hear things like this is a bluey, and you could maybe, state a case that this is going to be Versace Eros, perhaps. This was released back in 2019, I believe. And I'm trying to go back into the fragrance community back then, and that's not too far for me personally. And I remember this thing got released in 2019, did get trashed by some people in the community, loved by others, free bottle brigade, of course, automatic love. And then I think they reformulated it like a year later in 2020. So obviously I got the new juice. So let's see. Nose behind this, two noses. Of course, Hamid comes back. Olivier Cresp. What? Okay. Yeah, I don't recall a PDM. And again, my history with them is very, not minimal, but I've sampled quite a bit. I haven't seen a big name like that attached to a PDM fragrance, but now that they're making more money, right? They own Initio, they're rolling in it. They might start using big names as perfumiers a la Jeremy Fragrance to sell units. So let's get into it. I am a fan of Mr. Cresp. Let's see what we get. And it's been, I've been doing a lot of unboxings lately that are not really unboxings. They were returned products, Fragflex, but this one is an actual brand new product. This kind of feels weird playing with cellophane again. I've done like 40 first impressions before this. Interesting. And yes, I am decanting this. This is not my personal bottle, so it is going to go on fragflex.com next week. Next week. We'll give it a week. So we got a 75 ml bottle. We got the blue hue, baby blue box. All right, Sedley from PDM. What do they have beside here? The freshness of mint exalted through watery and woody notes. Yeah, that doesn't excite me much. Okay, so PDM, heavy caps. Let's try it out. First on strip, then on skin. Sedley, are you going to be my game breaker for PDM? I doubt it. Let's see. No. 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 No, it won't be. Yeah, it smells very designer-ish. Man, I don't know. I don't know how people spend hundreds of dollars on this kind of stuff. Honestly, it smells like a designer fragrance. So nothing new to the game. It smells very shower gelish. Yeah, it's versatile. Yeah, it's signature scent worthy, I guess, just because it's so clean. Um, it's not a heavy ambrox scent. It does have ambroxan in it, but it's not like a sauvage or something like that. I'm not really getting into that. There is a little bit of a more of a smoothness than Sauvage Eau de Toilette, the Versace Eros Eau de Toilette. This goes into the realm of the, those brands or those lines started going EDP and then Parfum and Elixir, right? And eventually all those brands are going to have elixirs. You watch, like there's going to be an Eros elixir, there is going to be a Bleu de Chanel elixir. It's just going to happen. But anyway, this smells like not the eau de toilettes because they're very scratchy. A lot of them I can't stand. This smells like an EDP version of those where those brands kind of cleaned it up, but it still smells designerish. There's nothing in here that the mint in here, I rather have a Roadster by Cartier as a mint-based fragrance, honestly. But it has citruses, which again, none of them have like any high-end character, right? A grapefruit that has a tartness, you don't smell that here. Put it on skin. Scent of the day. So, it has that phony cologne kind of smell. That musky, bleh. Oh yeah, I put too much on. It's giving me that. It smells like a designer fragrance. Put too much, it smells kind of, ooh, yeah. Yeah. So at the end of the day, this is right in the box of, again, I called it when I first started reviewing PDMs, and I'm still singing the same tune years later. Designer fragrance with a niche price point. This is not changing my mind. It is a shower gelish, bluish kind of thing with mint in it. It has that ambroxan synthetic thing. When you overspray, it's not good. Once it starts, people are saying that the fragrance smells like Sprite. Not really. It doesn't have, but I know what you mean. It's artificial citrus. Yeah, it's not very good. So yeah, you got lemon. Lemon is your number one citrus in here that I'm getting. Mint. I've smelled better lemons. Mint, I've smelled, just go Cartier Roadster. Mint. That will kill this mint 100%. If you like mint, go there. It's fresh, yeah. It's got a little bit of an herbal quality. Rosemary could be that. It almost hints to barbershop. It's starting to go into that category. There is lavender in here, so I could see maybe it's going to go into that. Yeah, lavender definitely. But safe, blue-green kind of scent-wise. Artificial citrus, ambroxan, not obnoxiously bad. Ambroxan I've smelt a lot worse. Yeah, and again, this the same song and dance that I've been saying in every single video of PDM. Not worth the price. Not worth the price. Go into designer realms. If you like this, go check out the Parfum versions of Sauvage. And if you like this kind of stuff, I'm not a fan. Like, I'll tell you quality wise where it's at, and this is exactly where I'm putting it in designer. Not eau de toilette, but more like the higher end designer ones. But again, they're not very good. They're not very unique. They're not very interesting. Anybody that likes niche fragrances will, I don't know. Like, there's better. There's a lot better. And yeah. So at the end of the day, Sedley didn't do it for me. It did not. There's no personality. It's not in my favorite genre either, so it's double-edged sword. Is it better than Versace Eros Eau de Toilette versus a Sauvage Eau de Toilette? Yeah, 100%. It's much smoother. But that shouldn't be your competition when you're spending $200 plus. You know, you're spending half the price. But you start going into Versace Eros EDP, Sauvage EDP, Bleu de Chanel EDP. Now you're getting into exactly in this type of quality wise, as far as smoothness. DNA boring across Bleu de Chanel, Sauvage, Eros, all boring, all not very good. But why spend niche money when you can get designer fragrances for cheaper, which is, it's getting close now. Those designer brands are starting to inch closer, and these guys are going to have to start, well, they have been amping up their price points. But yeah, Sedley, nothing crazy, nothing. And again, it is like a designer brand that has no identity. It's a designer brand that goes with the flow of the industry. And these kind of brands like that don't have any rich history, right? And it just kind of makes you start thinking of brands like YSL. Old YSL is dead and gone. Like trendsetters, like there was some brands like that, trendsetters, like the Chanels and that. Those are trendsetters. This is like the same kind of brand of, okay, we're late to the party, we're going to release our own. And there's no trend setting here at all. It really reminds me of a second tier, third tier designer brand. That's it. And then people try to say, oh, well, the ingredients are better. No, they're not. No, they're not. There's no way. There's no way. It smells like a designer. Like, you put this versus things in its own price point. I don't know how much a 75 ml of Sedley retail goes for. Probably two something, high twos. Wow, the competition is huge. As far as quality goes, I can show you real quality stuff in a bottle that smells authentic, beautiful, has building blocks that it really is complex, or it really does, it's artistic. And they don't all have to be like that, I understand. But, for me as a fragrance reviewer, when I smell this, you blindfold me, I'd be like, this is Versace, or this is a YSL fragrance, and it shouldn't be that way. I'm not going to be spending, why? I don't know. If you want to smell like YSL and pay double or triple, go ahead. That's where this thing is, sadly. There's so much out there to discover. Unfortunately, these influencers kind of got in your brain that this is a high-end quality brand that can't miss, and people own the whole line. Too much money. Not enough homework done, basically. So, yes, I will be decanting. This is not going to be in my collection. I'm decanting the whole thing. 10 ml decants will be coming next week on fragflex.com. Since I'm decanting them, I do have a code for you, TFG10. You get 10% off on any purchase. Decants or not, full bottles you can do also. It doesn't also have to be Sedley. And I'm not selling it because that's what I do. I don't sell you on fragrances. But if you're interested in Sedley and you do want a decant, go ahead, use my code, and yeah, that's the way it works. I'm not gonna fake it. to sell units. Definitely not. So go check out Fragflex. They do have, decants, full bottles. They have testers, stuff like that. It is a one-stop shop. I absolutely love the brand, obviously, and I can't wait to decant this and get it out of my site. Disgusting. Now that you heard my take, I'd love to see yours in the comments below. Good, bad, and the ugly. You can agree and disagree with me. Don't try to take shots at me personally. I'm not a fan of that in the comments below. But you don't have to defend this fragrance to the audience here on my video, because there's actually way more positive videos on this thing than negative. And just look at it as a fragrance reviewer. Do you want a fragrance reviewer that's always going to be rainbows and Skittles all the time, telling you things that really they probably, at the end of the day, they turn off the video and they're like, ugh. I'm sure they're looking at themselves like, oh, I hate doing this every day. I do this as a hobby. It's not a business. So I'm not forcing myself to be like, hey, Parfum the Marley, the best in the game, free bottles. Okay, goofy face insert here. No. Anyway, just think about that before commenting and making fun of my shirt. I don't have taste or something like that. I don't know. People do that. But as always, a great or poor fragrance will make a lasting impression. Choose your scent wisely. Thanks for watching, YouTube. Have a good one.